Have you ever felt confused when your ex suddenly cuts off all contact, ignores every effort you make to reconnect, and seemingly disappears entirely from your life? This leaves you wondering, is all hope truly lost, or is this just part of an emotional game? The truth is, when someone avoids contact, it's often not as simple as ending everything. For individuals with an avoidant attachment style, withdrawing can be a defense mechanism. A way for them to cope with complex emotions they're not ready to face. Yet deep down, they may still harbor hopes for change, a sign from you or a shift they can't ignore. Imagine this. Instead of feeling despair or helplessness, you use this opportunity to transform yourself. Not through pleading or hopelessly clinging. In this video, we'll help you gain a deeper understanding of the psychology behind avoidant behaviors when you choose to go no contact. We'll also share practical strategies to help you rebuild confidence, take control of the situation, and create an irresistible attraction, not just with your ex, but with anyone in your life. We thought it necessary, Laura and I, to take Brainstorm New. First, we need to understand the psychology of avoidant individuals. I know you're dealing with pain and frustration. When someone avoids you, it feels like they're disregarding your genuine feelings, making you think they're a bad person, only there to toy with you and leave.
But is the truth really that simple? Behind this avoidance may lie deep wounds you've never known about.
Let me share my story. Not just to explain, but to help you see a different perspective on the pain. Not only yours, but also of those who avoid connection. As a child, I always felt like an outsider. My childhood was a maze of whispers and sideways glances that I interpreted as rejection, whether real or imagined. My parents loved me, or so I thought, but they were often caught up in their own struggles. My father's words, sharp as daggers, left the invisible scars that I carried into adulthood. Each phrase became evidence of what I had always believed deep down, that something was fundamentally wrong with me. This belief was like a heavy backpack I carried every part. I'd learned to withdraw, becoming a shadow to feel safer. My avoidance became my shield. As I grew into adulthood, I discovered I had avoidant personality disorder, AVPD. It wasn't just a label. It was the lens through which I saw the world. The external world fell empty and decayed, mirroring the sadness that consumed me inside. The first time I fell in love, I thought love could save me. Their warm smile seemed to promise a safe haven from my insecurities. It is terrifying when you believe you're unworthy of it. Every moment of closeness felt like a countdown to inevitable rejection. The pain of that breakup tore me apart, but it also forced me to confront the vicious cycle I was trapped in. Therapy became my lifeline. My therapist and Ellie gently unraveled my layers of insecurity and fear, one piece at a time. Healing with AVPD is like standing on a beach, bravely waiting for the tide to recede. I'm still learning to let people into my world, to believe that love doesn't always come with pain. Some days the voice of doubt still lingers, but I'm learning to quiet it. To anyone struggling with this disorder, you are not alone. Healing is a messy, painful, and slow journey, but it is possible. I'm still on this path, and each small step forward reminds me that I am worth the effort. Returning to today's topic, healing from avoidant personality disorder is not an easy road. If you're wondering how it's different. Second, there's the post-breakup death spiral and the ever-present feeling of heaviness. Love, to them, is like trying to hold on to adoring smoke. Initially, the relationship might seem like a dream. She could captivate you with her strong, calm, and somewhat mysterious exterior. But you'll quickly realize that behind that perfect image, something feels amiss. She always maintains a distance, never truly letting you touch the deepest parts of her being. She begins the relationship with a false self, an image she believes you want to see. But maintaining this facade is like carrying an invisible burden. She grows tired, exhausted, and gradually feels trapped within the relationship itself. This leads to her resentments, not resentment toward you, but resentment towards herself for not being able to be authentic. She doesn't know how to escape this loop without breaking the relationship. This resentment and fatigue cause her to withdraw. You can sense the coldness, the growing distance in the relationship. She avoids deep conversations, intimate moments, for fear that if you see her, when things become unbearable, she chooses to end it. From your perspective, the breakup may seem like a rejection, but for her, it's a form of self-preservation. She leaves not because she's stopped loving, but because she doesn't know how to maintain the relation. After the breakup, she enters a phase of conflicting emotions, as if adrift on an ocean of feelings without an anchor. Initially, she feels relief and almost sweet liberation from finally taking off the magician suit she wore throughout the relationship. She can breathe a sigh of relief, no longer having to strive to maintain an image she always feared would crumble. She sits alone in the quiet room, watching the sunlight filter through the curtains, and feels, at least in that moment, a bit of peace. But that feeling doesn't last. When night falls and the quiet turns to loneliness, she starts to miss him, not in the way someone yearns to return, but as a painful reminder of what she has lost. She remembers the times he held her hand, as if to reassure her that everything would be okay, and also the ordinary moments when they just sat next to each other in silence but felt they needed nothing more. But then, those memories don't bring comfort. Instead, they're like small cuts, little by little making her realize vast empty. Gradually, regret begins to creep in. One morning, seeing a couple holding hands on the street, she wonders if she has lost something irretrievable. She remembers the freedom she once craved, and freedom from the pressure to perform to the person she thought he wanted, and realizes that the price to pay is emotional isolation. She starts to brave because if I had let him see more of my true self, would things had been different? She realizes that it wasn't that he loved the wrong way, but that she couldn't give herself completely. However, even as regret surges, fear still holds her tight. She does not have the courage to face the exited wounds, to believe that if she returns, she could change anything. Instead, she chooses to remain silent, to keep her distant and let time pass, hoping that the pain will gradually fade. But that silence is not a warranted her enough, both to protect and ultimately the hardest thing is accepting that your love cannot heal the wounds she must face alone. She didn't leave because you did anything wrong, but because her pain and its conflict have become a part of life she's not ready to let go of. Respect that your love wasn't in vain, and even though she couldn't hold on to it at that moment, that light will forever be a part of her self-healing journey. Third, what the avoidant person hopes for when you don't reach out. For someone with avoidant personality disorder, AVPD, your no contact after a breakup isn't just a break. The distance created by no contact allows her to step back, reflect on the relationship, and find answers within herself. One of the most important things she hopes for from you during this time is that you'll find greater confidence and independence. Psychological studies like those by Milan and Davis, 1996, have shown that people with AVPD often get caught up in anger. To her, your confidence and stability aren't just attractive qualities. They're reassurance that you're strong enough not to get swept up in her internal conflicts. something she always fears will damage the relationship. In other words, she hopes you can become a solid anchor, not to fix her, but to create a safe space where she can gradually learn to open up without. Secondly, the silence gives her a chance to reduce the pressure that people with AVPD often feel in close relationships. A study by Hank Alden and Taylor, 2016. When you temporarily withdraw and don't make contact, you inadvertently create an environment where she can process her emotions without facing the worry that you're demanding something from her. Intimacy, promises, or explanations. In this quiet space, she can listen to her emotions more easily without the pressure to meet any expectation. This not only helps her to feel more clearly about the relationship, but also opens up the opportunity for her to see you and what you have built together in a more natural and authentic style. Most importantly, no contact allows her to better understand the value of the relationship. People with AVPD is mentioned in the research, but in the absence of your presence. The moments you shared, smiles, gentle glances, your patience when she was confused, begin to emerge as precious pieces. She may begin to feel that while the initial withdrawal helped her avoid pain, it also left a void that cannot be easily filled. This is when she can begin to appreciate what has been lost, not from the perspective of wanting to return immediately, but from the realization that true trouble. For you who once loved her, it's crucial to understand that this silence is not the end, but potentially part of a healing and reconnection process. But this reconnection depends not only on her, but also on how you use this time to become a better version of yourself. Many psychologists, like Bowlby 1988 in his attachment theory, you don't need to change to please her, but to demonstrate that love, even in silence, remains steadfast and worthy of cherishing. Fourth, strategies when you choose no contact. When a relationship with someone with avoidant personality disorder, AVPD, and the silence and distance after the breakup can be an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. A journey of discovery, not only about them, but also about yourself. This isn't your time to cling or wallow in pain, but an invitation to invest in yourself. Rediscover your inner strength, new eyes that don't forget gratitude, even if they finish. Instead of desperately trying to fix the relationship, turn inward and take care of yourself. You don't need to prove you're worthy of love by clinging to them. Instead, develop confidence and adore attractiveness you always possessed. Ask yourself, truly extend me out. When you start finding happiness outside the relationship, you not only recover, but also create a solid foundation for any future relationships, whether with them or someone else. This confidence and independence will not only make you more attractive, but also help you build mental strength, enough to not get caught up in the internal conflicts they might bring. To truly understand and accept someone with AVPD, you need to change how you perceive their behavior. Avoidance isn't rejection of you, it's their way of coping with emotions they don't know how to handle. They don't leave because of a lack of affection, but because they're afraid of being seen. Imagine the weight they carry, a constant conflict between the desire for love and the fear of being hurt. Your patience and understanding, rather than judgment, can be the medicine that helps them feel safer. A small but meaningful step on their journey to learn to love. During this time, positive change on your part can have a profound impact. Avoidant individuals are often drawn to stability and positivity, elements they lack in their anxiety-ridden world. When you focus on becoming a better version of yourself, not just physically, but emotionally, intellectually, and in your calmness,
not only change how they perceive you, but also increase your self-worth in the eyes of everyone. This isn't about manipulating them to come back, but about affirming that you can live a full and meaningful life without them. Finally, let gratitude be the guiding light on your journey. Perhaps now the pain is still too deep for you to see anything positive from the past relationship, but try to take some time to reflect, not on what you've lost, but on what you've learned. They, despite their hurt and avoidance, have left lasting marks on your life. Every smile, every word, every peaceful moment between you are pieces that make up a moving picture of your journey with. It is these experiences that have helped you understand more about patience, empathy, and the value of self-love. Be grateful that they have walked through your life, not because what they brought was perfect, but because their presence helped you confront the deepest parts of your soul. Perhaps they made you realize that love isn't always easy or complete, but it is in those challenges that you have the opportunity to grow. Every time they hurt you is also an opportunity for you to learn to heal or to realize your honesty. They have taught you that you don't need someone else to make you whole, but that you by yourself are enough. Forgiveness doesn't mean you agree with the hurt they caused. Instead, it's the act of freeing yourself from the burden of resentment, a gift you give yourself more than them. When you forgive, you don't deny the pain, but you choose not to let it control your life anymore. Forgiveness is a powerful act, an affirmation that you are strong enough to let go and move on with a lighter heart. Gratitude doesn't mean you forget the difficulties, but that you find value in them. You can be grateful to them for teaching you that love is not just a connection between any two people, but also a journey of self-discovery and self-improvement. Helping them overcome AVPD is not your responsibility, but you can create positive influences by changing yourself. When you become a stronger, more peaceful version of yourself, you not only show them that true love can exist without demanding perfection, but also give yourself the opportunity to view the relationship from a deeper perspective. Love sometimes isn't about holding on to someone, but about letting them go, letting them see that they are worthy of unconditional acceptance, even when they are not ready to receive it. Be grateful that you have loved, experienced, and grown. In silence, ultimately, you not only forgive them, but also yourself, so that both of you can continue on your own journeys with lighter heart. When you choose no contact with someone with avoidant personality disorder, AVPD, it's not just about creating distance. Remember, no contact is not the end, but can be the beginning of understanding, compassion, and healing, whether or not the end result is reconnection. The most important thing is that you not only help them see the value of love, but also give yourself the opportunity to love and be loved more sincerely. If you found this content helpful, or have any thoughts on what avoidant people really want during no contact, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more content on psychology, relationships. We're here to help you find answers and build more meaningful relationships. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.